Well, Andy, this is 3 days in a row, and you called it an emergency podcast.
I couldn't
Tell me
help
what's
my
going on.
I couldn't help myself. So, first of all, are you aware that today is the Epstein I don't want to call it Epstein Files, the Epstein file release day? Are you aware of this happening?
I just heard that like Pam Bondi had it sitting on her desk.
Okay, so Pam Bondi, and before I even say anything here, like it's going to be hard for me not be like a little giggly or gleeful throughout this. We're going to do 10 or 15 minutes. It's going to be quick. Let me say right off the bat that like there's 250 apparent victims of Epstein. So like that's not a laughing matter, okay? So I want to say that one of the things I'm mad about is the way that some of the MAGA influencers today were all smiles about this, which isn't something to joke about. But I'm going to be a hypocrite and I'm probably going to laugh and kind of
Wait,
make fun.
the Magites were happy
Uh,
about this?
we'll get
Hold
there
on,
in a
hold on,
second.
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. What, but Trump should be on this list. Like he's already on the flight logs, right?
They've already cleared Trump on this. Yes, Trump is on the flight logs.
Who cleared Trump?
Okay, we'll get to all that in due time. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Um, I gotta set this up. So Pam Bondi and Kash Patel both while they were in the lead up to getting their confirmation, they both told MAGA people, whether it be Fox News or just MAGA influencers, said we're going to release all the Epstein stuff on day one. They promised that a couple different times. Okay. And then when they actually either when they got into office or like right before they got into office, they said, okay, it's not going to be day one, but we're going to do it as soon as possible. Be a couple days max. Okay. They've both been in office. I think Cash has only been in office for like a week. Bondi's been there a little bit more than a week. So they haven't been there long. But the pressure started heating up. Hey, where are the Epstein files? Where's the JFK files? All that kind of stuff. So Pam Bondi went on Jesse Waters last night and said, "Hey, I've got all the Epstein files on my desk. I've been going through them. I do have to do some redacting because I want to make sure the victim's information doesn't get out of there." But she said there's going to be a lot of new information. And Jesse Waters even asked her, he's like, "This is going to be like new big stuff, right?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, lots of information is coming out." Apparently, she hadn't even looked at it yet. I'm gonna throw that out, and you'll know why I'm saying that in a minute, okay? But she said that she's been reviewing it. It's on her desk, and she kept saying
Why lie? Why do these people fucking lie all the time? Just
so.
like stupid shit. Okay.
And the whole moral of this is they lied themselves into a corner, and now they're kind of screwed. Um, but so she said last night, hopefully to tomorrow I'll release it, which is today. Um, we didn't hear anything this morning. There was a lot of Trump news that we'll talk about on another episode. But all of a sudden, I start seeing pictures on social media of, let me think here. It was a guy on Twitter named DC Drano that I see all the time. He's one of those people that Elon interacts with and retweets all the time. He's a MAGA guy. Mike Cernovich, who's another MAGA guy. Cernovich is like an OG MAGA QAnon guy. Liz Wheeler, who's a former OANN reporter.
OAN.
Jack Posobiec was there. He's the original Pizzagate guy. He started Pizzagate. And then
Oh,
Chad,
wait. I thought what's his name did?
uh,
Um what's his name?
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones,
He
yeah.
he helped crack the code. Posobiec actually went there and like did a hidden camera operation like way back like 2015. Like he was one of the OG guys. Another guy that was there was Chad Prather, who's a moron. He ran for governor of Texas. He started as just like a TikTok guy who did these videos. He was real. You always knew it was him. I can't remember what it was, but like his catchphrase, or he would always say the same thing. Anyhow, all these people get invited to the White House today, and I don't know if it was Pam Bondi or the White House, but somebody had the great idea that, hey, instead of releasing these Epstein documents to the public, let's release them to selected MAGA influencers and nobody else. So all of a sudden, you're seeing images of them walking out of. There's a certain door where when people go visit the president, they go out like a side door of the White House. Like whenever a visitor today, the guy, the British Prime Minister Keir Starmer or something like that, when he showed up, they go in the side door. It's a very recognizable door if you've seen it before. And all of a sudden, there's pictures of all these MAGA influencers coming out that door, and they're holding up three-ring binders that say like Jeffrey Epstein Files Phase One, and then under that it says like as directed by Pam Bondi and Kash Patel, and then at the bottom it says like delivered by the total transparent President Donald J. Trump, 45th, 47th president. Like so, they're making a big show of it, and all these influencers are like holding them up for the cameras and smiling, like gleefully smiling. And that was the moment where I saw that and I was like, hey, like you're holding up info on a dude that allegedly raped 250 plus underage women. Like that's not laughable. So
Yeah.
again, I'm now breaking that. I'm being hypocritical because the rest of this is funny. Okay, it's not funny what he did, but this is funny. Um, we see those pictures and we know that these MAGA influencers have it, but then there's like silence for like 3 hours. Like nothing comes out. It's kind of okay. What's in those? What's going on? It turns out what's in those is all the stuff that's already been released, which she had said last night. One of the things was going to be the full flight logs. Apparently, it wasn't the full flight logs because
Oh.
we know that Trump flew on it. I think it was 2 or 3 times. That was released. There was a court case in 2021 where they had to
Mhm.
release a bunch of stuff, and that's where we saw that it was Trump and his wife, which was Marla Maples at the time. So Trump, his wife, his daughter Tiffany, and a nanny were all passengers, and they flew from like New York to Florida on it 2 or 3 times. We know RFK was on it because RFK admitted to Jesse Waters. I don't know if you saw that interview. But this is
Oh
months
yeah.
ago. Waters Waters asked me. He said it, I think, jokingly, but he goes, "Well, you didn't fly on Epstein's plane or anything, right?" And RFK very seriously was like, "Okay, actually, I did fly on it 2 different times." And he said both times he flew on it, he was with his family. Um, What's funny is MAGA instantly gave Trump and RFK a pass because they said, well, they were on it with their family, so clearly nothing happened there. Bill Clinton went on it. He went on, I've explained this before, but Bill Clinton, it shows that he has like 26 or 27 flights on that plane. And what it was one big trip where it was a humanitarian mission. And the guy from the movie Rush Hour, Chris Tucker, I think is his name, the
Mhm.
black guy from the movie Rush Hour. He was also the sidekick in the first Friday movie. You know that guy?
Yeah, yeah. Chris Tucker.
Anyhow, he was on it. There were members of the press on it. Like it was a big humanitarian thing where they went to all these countries in Africa, and basically each leg of the flight is considered a flight. So, like if he's in it 26 times, it was all one big deal. They went all around Africa, and every time they landed, that's a new flight when they take off again.
Sure.
So, to me, Bill Clinton, Trump, and Epstein, like, yeah, they were on his plane, but that doesn't mean they raped anybody. Like, their families were there. And in Clinton's case, the press was there, and Chris Tucker was there, and a couple other people you would know. Um,
Yeah, but hold on. I mean, like if like Jeffrey Epstein is friends with Trump, Bill Clinton, whoever, yeah, you name it, JFK,
Epstein,
RFK, or whatever. And like these three people are like the three most sexually predatorial people that I mean, I think I put them on the top of the list as like one, two, and three. Clinton,
good old slick Willie Bill Clinton,
yeah,
RFK, who by all accounts had some serial cheating going on with his first wife, and he just had that thing happen with that New York Magazine reporter Olivia Nuzzi or whatever, like right before the
yeah.
election, and then Trump, who Stormy Daniels and the other Playmate centerfold, and cheated on
He's,
every
I
wife
mean,
he's ever had.
oh, and he's a convicted rapist,
Yeah. They were all friends with
rapist.
Epstein. I mean, Epstein and Ghislaine, whatever you say her name, Maxwell, were both at Clinton's daughter's wedding with Trump. And there's a picture of like the two Clintons, Trump and
Yeah.
Melania, and Ghislaine and Epstein. These people all hung out. So
Then they're on the flight log, but
apparently,
only with their families. I just don't buy any of this. This is too much.
well, there's all those videos from back in the day of Trump and Epstein together, like at parties. I don't know if it was at Mar-a-Lago or at Epstein's place, where they're like watching girls dance and like pointing at them and saying, "Who knows?" They were all buddies. I'm past that. Okay, MAGA has cleared Trump and RFK, and that's all that matters. Okay, um, let me think here. Laura Loomer. The whole thing about this recent Trump presidency, this one, is there keeps being moments where I'm like, God dang it, I agree with Laura Loomer or whoever it is. Like I keep finding myself where I'm like, this MAGA conspiracy person that I really don't like is making some damn good points. And let me just say this. Laura Loomer was pissed because she considers herself like one of the OG MAGA influencers, and she did not get invited to this deal today to get one of the binders that everybody else got. Uh,
Uh,
she was clearly hurt about that. She didn't say that, but you can tell like she went on a rage right away. And I 100% believe that it's because she wasn't invited. Had she been invited, she would have been totally fine with all this, but she wasn't invited. So she went off. She's mad at everybody. She started attacking Pam Bondi the most. Like she went off on Pam Bondi. She reminded everybody that Pam Bondi was the Attorney General of Florida from 2011 to 2019. Epstein got that sweetheart deal in 2008. But then 11 through 19, he was on the loose in Florida doing whatever before the feds finally arrested him in 2019. Bondi was the
okay.
AG there that whole time and didn't do a damn thing. And Laura Loomer is all over that. Um, Let me think here real quick on the Trump connections. Trump was friends with Epstein. Supposedly they had a breakup in 2007, and that's people say I think one of like Trump's friends' daughters gave an interview and she said, "Oh well, when Trump found out what Epstein was really doing, he barred him from Mar-a-Lago." So that's the
Hmm.
story that MAGA readily they believe that like with no questions they believe that. I don't know if it's true or not. Maybe it's true. I have no clue. That was right before he got picked up by Alex Acosta, who was Trump's labor secretary. We'll get to that in a second. But right
Hmm.
before he got picked up in '08 and given the sweetheart deal, Trump cut all ties with him. Odds are Trump got wind that he was about to get scooped up and in charge with all this stuff, and that's when Trump said, "Hey, I gotta disconnect from this guy."
Yeah.
But Trump was friends with him. His former labor secretary, his first term, his labor secretary was Alex Acosta, who is a prosecutor for like the Miami field office, and he's the one who gave Epstein the like the sweetheart deal in 2008. Bill Barr, Trump's attorney general the first time around, was overseeing the prison where Epstein killed himself. I don't know if he did or not. I'm kind of back and forth on that one, but Bill Barr was in charge of his security at that point. And Bill Barr was friends with Epstein's dad, or there's some weird connection. Or no, Epstein was friends with Bill Barr's dad. There's some connection there. Um, and then Trump's current attorney general Bondi was the attorney general in Florida that kind of didn't do anything to Epstein for 8 straight years. So there's a
Isn't there a
lot.
conspiracy that Epstein is like a double agent or something too?
Yeah, it's incredibly believable. There's no evidence, but it's incredibly believable that he's either a Mossad agent, which is the Israeli CIA pretty much, or he's with us, or maybe with both. But the
Hmm.
theory is that he was basically tasked with getting compromising stuff on a lot of powerful individuals so that like our government or Israel's government would basically, those people would be our puppet now because we have video of you screwing an underage girl. So you have to do what we want you to do now. That's the theory. It's very believable. Like I said, I don't think we'll ever see proof, but it's believable
Yeah.
as heck. Um, Also, real quick, Trump when Ghislaine, however you say her name, when she got arrested, they asked Trump. He was still president at that point. They asked him what he would say to her, what he had to say about it, and he just
Wish
goes,
her
"What?"
well.
Yeah, he said, "I wish her well." That's yeah, that's a little weird.
Hmm.
Um,
Oh.
Now, Bondi started getting all the heat. Bondi gave them all the binders and seemed to be quite pleased with what she was giving them. And then MAGA flipped out. MAGA was like, "This is not what we were promised. This is stuff we've already seen." I don't think there was anything new. What the only thing that might have been new was there was lists of evidence that were recovered in like Epstein's house or island. And like it was like butt plugs and stuff. It was like
Oh.
three pink butt plugs, two things of baby oil, or like it was weird stuff like that.
Hmm.
Other than that, nothing new. Bondi comes out immediately and says, "The FBI is hiding stuff from me. I requested everything and they didn't give it to me." So she writes Kash Patel a letter, which he works for her. She could just pick up the phone, but she wanted to make there. This is for theater, so she wrote him a letter and she publicized the letter. She put it out there, and it says she was kind of trying to do him a favor and not point at him, but she said, "Hey, before you took office, I requested all the files, and like what I got is a joke." Now I'm going to
Hmm.
back up to last night. She said that it's all on her desk and she's been reviewing it and it's going to be a lot of good stuff. Either she's just a liar, which is very probable, or she hadn't looked at it at all until today. I don't know. You tell me. Um,
Or she didn't look at it, she looked at it and she's like, we can't really give this information
then
out,
why
like
did she
give
go on
them
Jesse
all the
Waters
stuff.
last night and say, "Oh, it's going to be big stuff I'm releasing tomorrow. You're going to be very happy." Uh,
And for some reason, the Trump circle, Trump and the Trump circle, everything has to be big and oh, you can't wait till see what happens next. It's going to be the biggest, best thing ever. Like we have so much information on Epstein, and yeah, it
yep.
just all has to be like bombastic, I guess.
This was all for show today. This was a theater production. She had
Yeah,
the MAGA influencers. They made a spectacle of them leaving with their big binders,
yeah.
especially when it
And
turned out
who,
to be a
who
dud.
really gives a shit? To be honest with you.
I think that they realized that they didn't have anything new to release, so they worked up this scheme to bring in the MAGA influencers. Because if you have those 5 or 6 people on your side and everybody starts to get mad, they can kind of run cover for you and say, "No, no, no, the attorney general's doing everything she can," which is what they're all doing. They're all doing that right now tonight. They're
So
all
they're
posting
kind of using
videos.
the MAGA influencers as like a buffer between
Yeah.
the MAGA hate and okay,
So
interesting.
the story now is that I think it was Pam Bondi that came out and said this, but she said that somebody leaked or a whistleblower in the New York field office, the Southern District of New York, which I'm confused because SDNY has no jurisdiction over this at all. The case was charged out of Florida, got moved to DC. SDNY should not have any evidence at all, as far as I know. Maybe if I'm wrong, I hope somebody will point that out why I'm wrong, but I don't get why they're involved. But she said someone from the SDNY office was a whistleblower and said, "Hey, they're hiding thousands of documents on this up in New York, and they haven't given them to the main FBI office because they're hiding it." She didn't say this, but the inference is that they're hiding it to protect Democrats, Bill Clinton. The bottom line with this, real quick, is MAGAs are not going to be happy until Obama, Tom Hanks, Oprah, like there's certain people that they are sure are satanic child rapists. Like that's their thing, and that's
Uh,
they want that, and it's not going to be there. Um,
okay.
so she has now ordered Kash Patel to get to the bottom of this to figure out why the SDNY is hiding all these documents. I guarantee you, at some point, the story is going to be, oh, they must have destroyed all the documents because we can't find them
Oh,
anywhere. There are no
has to be.
documents. But that's the next step in this. So she's ordered him to find all those and turn them over to her. He's already responded and said, "I'm on it. I'm going to find it. I'm going to get it to you. I'm going to hold people accountable." the I don't know how they're buying themselves time. Okay. And now, after they came out and did that whole dog and pony show, all the different Posobiec, Cernovich, Prather, Libs of TikTok, they've all come out and basically defended Bondi and said, "Hey, like she gave us everything that they gave to her, and it's not her fault that the FBI is how the FBI is we should disband the FBI. That's kind of that's the mode they're
Oh,
taking." So, but they all said that they trust her that once she gets it all, she is going to put it out. But it's going to take a little bit of time. But she's doing it, and one of them even said, "Let's let her cook." Okay, she's doing it. Let's just let her cook.
mm,
So they bought themselves some time. Who knows how much? And I don't think they really even bought themselves some time because what I'm seeing online is a lot of MAGA getting upset. They even today, Dave Portnoy, who's the Barstool Sports guy, he put out a tweet that got a lot of attention, and I'm always shocked at how influencing he apparently is because I think the guy's funny, but I can't believe anybody's turning to him for kind of who should I be voting for, that kind of stuff. But he
yeah.
put out a long post. It was good. I'm going to look for it for a second here. But it's kind of the S has kind of hit the fan all over this, and all she had to do is she just had to come out probably right away and say, "Hey, really, what we have is what's been released. Like there isn't much more to it." Like I don't think MAGA would have got that upset with her in that point, but instead they lied and made it. And Kash Patel has lied about that on. I don't know for sure that he's lied yet. I'm betting he's lied. But he has said that of that and the JFK files, both, he said, "Ooh, I've already seen all those documents. I know it's in there. It's a big deal." Like he's been saying this for a while on podcasts. So if both of those get released and it turns out there's nothing there, like they're just liars.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's seems to be the case
Hold
most of
on.
the
Here, real quick, here's Dave Portnoy this morning, and this got retweeted a billion times. He said, "If I'm going to be fair, these questions need to be asked today. Why is the release of the Epstein list always a shit show? What's the point of booting out illegals and criminals while somehow becoming a safe haven for the Tate brothers, which I'm going to tell you about in a second? Why is crypto in the toilet if Trump is the crypto king? And how far does Tesla stock have to crash before Elon goes back to work?" So he's kind of done with all this. Like he's done with
I
the
love that.
Elon.
I love
So
that so much.
he's been on Trump's side throughout the last year or so, and he just posed those questions. And that I think there's a lot of young men that follow people like that, and it's weird to me because I don't think anybody's following Dave Portnoy for political stuff, but
I
apparently
think
there
that's
are.
where a lot of young men are getting their politics from, and that's why we're in our such a mess. The mess
I
that we're in right now is because people are following him, and he's the sports guy, right? He's
mm,
Barstool Sports. Like, and you're gonna listen to him about voting for Trump. He likes Trump because Trump's gonna give him tax cuts. Like,
yeah, and
that's pretty much it.
I very much I'm so curious with Rogan. Is Rogan going to call this? Is he going to say this is bullshit? What's going on with the Epstein stuff, or is he going to carry water for Trump and Bondi and say, no, it's the FBI and this? I'm very curious how he's going to react here. But real quick, and then the whole other thing is like the Trump. He's getting rid of the immigrant rapists and this and that. He's protecting our women.
Yeah.
Apparently, so you know who the Tate brothers are? Andrew
Oh, they're
Tate.
back. They're in Florida.
Yeah.
They're
So
vindicating Trump.
they're out on bond and they're not supposed to be able to leave the country. And apparently the
Uh,
Trump administration pressured the Romanian government and made them allow them to travel to the US. That's been reported everywhere. Nobody's challenged that. That appears to be what happened. And today they asked Trump about it when he was meeting with the British PM, and Trump said, oh, really? I don't know anything about that. And that's been his answer on a lot of stuff. And I think that's why he has like Elon and some other people around, because plausible deniability is what he's got right now. Like but I think that in his mind, he's being smart and he can say, oh, I don't know anything about that. That somebody else must have done that. But it makes him look like he's not in control at all. It makes him look
yeah.
like other people are running his administration and he's just hanging
You
out there.
saw the meeting, the meeting that Elon held with all of the cabinet today. I
That
mean,
was yesterday.
yesterday,
Yeah.
Elon was standing, everybody else was sitting, and Elon was basically holding court.
He
Like,
he let Elon talk first, and he didn't get to JD Vance as vice president for like 35 minutes. And like JD only got to talk for about 2 minutes. Elon got to hold court for a while. Also, it's weird if you look when Elon's talking, Trump's body posture is really odd. He kind of sits slouched down and he doesn't make eye contact and just kind of, it's an awkward thing. I always think that he thinks he's showing his power by turning Elon loose or something. But in my mind, it's different. It makes it look like Elon's running the show for sure, and Trump's just hanging
very
on
much
for the
so,
ride.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think that's the case. I mean,
So
yeah, I think
yeah.
that's what's
Well,
going on. Huh.
so anyhow, we got our Epstein files. I will be shocked. Here's what needs to happen. They need to release some stuff that gives their base what they want. Red meat to the base. They need to show Tom Hanks, Oprah, Bill Clinton, Obama. If Obama, there's no connection to Obama and Epstein, but they're going to try to find one. But at the same time, they need to make sure that whatever they release doesn't mention Trump or RFK or anybody on their side. So they are stuck in a weird spot right now where they either need to selectively edit and doctor what they release, which if they do that could get them in big trouble, like for real. Like that could be a
By who?
problem. A lot. And I'd say the courts first of all, but I think that here's the thing. We already know that RFK and Trump flew on the plane. So if the next batch of stuff they leaves that off, I think MAGA, based off the way I've seen MAGA kind of turn on them tonight, I don't think MAGA is going to put up with this bullshit. Like I really don't.
Okay.
And I
Okay. Let's say the courts go through the system and they say Trump and Elon, like, you guys need to come into court. We're having a hearing about something because this is completely and utterly against U.S. law, and you guys need to go to trial. First of all, they're not going to show up. And then let's say they don't show up. And the judge goes, okay, you didn't show up for your trial. We're going to arrest you. Like, who's actually going to go and
yeah.
arrest?
Okay, you have a point. Okay.
This is the biggest problem with
So
what we're dealing with right now.
okay, I was wrong to say that they'd be in trouble, but I think that is crossing a line that is even. I think there's a lot of Republicans that would not. I really do. Like, I think that if they tried to do that, if they tried to doctor evidence about this and release selected evidence, I think so they either have to do that or they have to just tell their people, hey, there isn't the salacious smoking gun evidence you want there to be. It's
Yeah.
one or the other. That's where they're stuck with. Um,
Well, here's the thing is I don't think it really matters. I think they're gonna doctor some they could doctor some they if like I wouldn't put it past them to doctor stuff, right?
if they were going to do that, why didn't they do that today? Like that's what I thought they were going to do today, but they didn't.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Maybe
There's
Bondi doesn't Bondi have a little bit more of a conviction for the law than Trump?
and yeah, more than
Maybe.
Trump.
Yeah.
Everybody's got more than Trump.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, she's not where you would want her to be. But
So
like I said, if they were going to do that, they would have done it today. And I think that they realize that's not an option. I think Trump would like them to do that. But I'll bet and also if they did that, there's people in the Justice Department, the FBI that have read all this stuff that would come out blowing the whistle immediately saying, hey, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, so that's where we're at. And
I think that the Trump administration can kind of do whatever they want, and like they're never going to actually get in trouble for anything.
I
And
don't think they'll get in trouble.
they're figuring it out right now.
So
They're
what's going to
pushing that.
happen? Here's the real scenario of what could happen is if they continue right now, they're really wasting what they had. The first week or two, they had high approval, and all they had to do was not screw things up, and they would have been just fine. And they're messing that up in the last couple of weeks. The numbers aren't looking good. MAGA's MAGA's the basic question is what did we get? What did we vote for and what are we getting? We're not getting any of the stuff. And they're pointing now because of this, they're pointing out that hey, he hasn't even tried to do anything about inflation yet. Like so they're this is
Good,
making them realize, hey, we got screwed here. So and who knows?
good.
It might just be a one night thing and they'll be back on the Trump train tomorrow. I don't know. But
And I mean, I hope this isn't the case, but I can only imagine that they're like, yeah, our constituents don't like us, but who really cares? We're kind of in charge now. Like,
the
here, I'm just gonna pass the baton to Elon. Elon's our next president.
here's what's going to happen though, and I'll tell you this: there won't be any real consequences from this. But if they keep this up, there's a I'm starting I'm going to be back and forth on this a lot, but just the way things look right now, I'm starting to think like Democrats are going to take back the House and possibly the Senate in a year and a half. Like, I mean, if things continue on this trajectory, which I don't, it's hard to keep this bad of a trajectory going for Trump. But like,
Yeah.
if they take back the House, then immediately it's going to be hearings and hearings and hearings. Now, nobody's ever going to get really punished, but they're going to just bring up and they're going to bring up everything from this 2 year period. So Elon's FAA contract that he granted himself today, like all that stuff is now going to come under the microscope. So
Mhm.
that's what they have to look forward to if they keep this up is, oh shit, they're going to get drug into house hearings and a lot of the stupid shit they've done that's kind of getting covered up right now could get exposed.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
their motivation to not keep this trajectory going. Anyhow,
Let's hope that they actually listen to the rule of law and they're not just gonna just say, F it, we're in control. We're not gonna do any of that stuff.
I
We do what we want. We are the law, is
here's
basically
the
what they
thing.
said.
I think they could turn this around as far as releasing stuff. The JFK stuff is supposed to be next. That's what's supposed to be coming. And at this point, they have to make sure there's a big smoking gun in the JFK stuff. If they release the JFK stuff and it's all redacted and we don't really get anything new, oh boy, because most of MAGA really likes these. I don't want to say conspiracy theories, but that's kind of what it is.
That is what
Um,
it is.
yeah, that's 100% what it is. But they have to make the JFK stuff count. If they don't, like there's going to be pissed off MAGA. And like I said, I'm shocked right now, and I'm seeing the same people that I don't follow, but I see on Twitter all the time because Elon makes sure that I see them all the time that are always carrying water for Trump are not carrying water for Trump tonight. Like they are legit.
So here's the thing is like there's a good chance that the JFK thing is not like the Republicans or the right, the MAGA people, they really want it to be like the FBI plotted to kill
The CIA,
JFK and
yeah,
the
the CIA,
CIA plotted to kill. But there's a really good chance that that's not what happened, right? There's like, I mean,
I'd say there's like five in my mind. There's five different things that could have happened with JFK, and they're all about even as far as what the odds are. And the CIA is one of them. I think it could have been the CIA. I think it could have been Russia. I think it could have been the mob. There were several people that were pissed at JFK. Now, in my mind, it was definitely some kind of a conspiracy. It wasn't just Lee Harvey Oswald grabbing a gun and doing it. Like he had help or he had somebody assisting him. I'll just say. But the mob, the CIA, it could have been a lot. Russia's my one where I'm like, oh, I could totally see Russia being behind that, and I could see our government covering it up to avoid World War III. Because if our government,
uh,
I've said this before, but if our government had come out right after that and said, hey, we got evidence it was Russia that was behind it, you have to declare war on Russia at that point. Like there's no way around that. And that was during the middle of like the Cold War, like nuclear missile crisis. So
hmm.
if we go to war with Russia, odds are nukes start flying. And what are the odds that our government took a look at that and said, it'd be safer for everybody if we just sit on this. If we just we don't tell the Americans, if we tell the American people it's Russia, we have to declare war tomorrow. And
uh,
odds are we're going to destroy the world and everybody on it with nuclear weapons. So
Interesting. Hmm.
that's all. That's been my theory. Now, like I said, I think it could be that, or it could be the CIA, or it could be the mob. But they're under pressure. That's going to be the easiest way for them to get out of the heat they're feeling right now about Epstein is to quickly release the JFK stuff and make sure it counts. Make sure it's got something good in it. Because if they at this
Yeah.
point, if they either don't release JFK or if they release it and it's a nothing burger again, ooh, like it turns out MAGA doesn't care about the price of eggs. There's a lot of things they said they care about, but they don't care about. But you know what they really do care about is these conspiracy theories. So yeah, that's what they need to hurry up and
Oh,
do.
groovy,
Yeah.
groovy, man.
So anyhow, it's Epstein Day. I mean, this is I honestly
See.
I thought for sure that I would have to be going, telling people like, no, Bill Clinton, blah blah blah. You know, I thought I'd have to be defending stuff. Like, no, this is fantastic. I'm just gonna sit back. I this afternoon I wanted to call several MAGA friends of mine and just be like, so did you see the Epstein's? I didn't do it because I don't want to be that guy.
You should have.
I had the urge, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Some
So
text.
I'm gonna
What
lay off it.
happened? What happened to the Epstein stuff? I thought it was coming out today. Poke the bear. Poke the
Yeah,
bear, Andy.
I can't. I'm not like you. You can poke the bear. Uh, Yeah, but I don't. Maybe next time they'll make sure that Tom Hanks and Oprah are on the list. I don't know. We'll see. So,
Okay.
anyhow,
I hope it's
that's
in
all I got.
Trump's Sharpie handwriting too. Tom Hanks.
Real quick, sorry. The governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, has kind of taken a stand against Trump recently. It turns out that I guess he can't run again. I guess he's termed out or something like that. He wants his wife to run for the governor spot next, and Trump
What?
wants Byron Donalds, who's the black congressman from Florida, to do it. So,
Okay.
DeSantis is kind of standing up to Trump on certain things, and he made a big stand today where he was like, "I can't believe the Tate brothers are coming here to Florida. They are not welcome here. I do not want them here. Like, I'm pissed that nobody told me they were coming." So he made a stand on that, and it seems like there's a
Okay.
fair amount of MAGA that is also like, "Why are the Tate brothers here? Like, what's going on?"
Good.
So between Epstein
Good.
and the Tate brothers today, I'm just gonna say there's some people upset in MAGA, and maybe they'll get over it real quick. But I'm shocked the level they're complaining tonight.
Are they realizing that their party is full of rapists, like
I wouldn't say it's full
child
of.
sex trafficking and
Yeah, I'd say
rapists?
that's an overstatement, and I'll bet there's some sick people on both sides. Like if we really get down to it, there's some freaky people on both sides of the aisle. All I'm saying is it's not like it's just the left. No, I mean Matt Gaetz was talking about GOP congressmen that were having drug-fueled orgies. I believe him on that, but I'll bet there's also some freaky shit going on the left. That's where I'm
Yeah.
at. Neither side
P.
is
Diddy
clean on
stuff.
this.
Some of that
Yeah,
P. Diddy stuff. Hmm.
some baby oil parties.
Oh
So
my gosh.
yeah, so anyhow, we'll have to meet up. There's a lot of other Trump news, but I don't want to get into it tonight. I need to get
All
to
right.
bed. But there's all kinds of other stuff that we'll meet up on soon. But keep your eye out. The Epstein files were a joke. So the JFK files are next, or we're going to hear that the FBI needs to be truly gutted now because they're hiding. They hid and
Oh.
they destroyed all of the Epstein files, and that's the reason we don't have them. So MAGA, don't be mad at us. Be mad at the FBI. Like
Oh.
that's the two directions I think it's going to go.
I mean, just they're just gutting everything at this point. It doesn't. It's like I'm just numb to it now. I'm just like, oh, okay. So nobody. What
They,
our national parks are going to be gone? Okay.
did you see
Like
what they're gutting tonight? Like as we speak,
no.
the NOAA, which I had to figure out what that stood. That's the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Association. It's what the NWS, National Weather Service, is under that. And like
Uh-huh.
I live in Oklahoma, so all my local meteorologists are freaking out tonight because all their info that they get is from the NWS getting gutted. So they're all basically saying, hey, if you live in either a hurricane or tornado or any of those areas, like you are less safe tonight because of this. Congratulations if you voted for this. So that's happening as we speak. And tornado season's like 3 weeks away from me. Like I think this next week we're supposed to be getting tornadoes. So let
Yeah.
let's hope the early warning systems still operate with nobody there to man them. So
Great.
yep. Anyhow, all right, man. Have a good night. I'll be talking to you soon. Later.
Peace.